And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence, Collision Specialists, 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence. Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. Elm Logistics, for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships. The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite 4-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Tired of that same old breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Same old tasting scrambled eggs, burger, that dinner steak, ribs, or pork chops? Why not add a little bit of spice or just a touch of heat to make the difference? Change that scrambled egg with a little bit of Johnny Fabulous's John Cena Sr.'s $1 Million Jalapeno Hot Sauce. Great on burgers, steaks, chops, and those barbecued ribs.
And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J, Video Games and Collectibles.
Monty and the Pharaoh presents The 30, the only online pro wrestling game show. And now, here's your host, Bruce ESO Butler.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of The 30, where I challenge this group of wrestling experts with questions based on the current wrestling news and events of the wrestling scene. Based on their answers, they are awarded points, and the one with the most points at the end of the night is crowned The 30 World Champion. This is ESO. Let's get to our contestants. First, to my right, the man who was recently dethroned as The 30 Champion, the self-proclaimed smartest man in the room, Dan Sebastiano.
had to throw that out there. Well, I would still be a successful 5-time defending champ, but the way Bruce distributes points is about as accurate as an Angel Hernandez strike zone. So
Ouch. Well,
I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying I got screwed harder.
I did get the bribe. Dan. But somehow the $1 off my next foot long Subway, it really wasn't worth the points. But anyway,
good promoter pays in Subway coupons. You know that.
All right. Well,
Panera Bread.
next we have the honor of having in our presence a man who doesn't need another title, as he is already the president of Thursday Nights. He is Mr. Phil DeCesare. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
You can see my armpits sweat, man. I am getting nervous, I'll tell you. Wrestling fans around the corner and around the world. Strange days have found us. Strange days indeed. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the 30.
The 30.
The 30.
Hey guys, you heard him in the bottom there. And did you know our next panelist went to school with Missy Beefcake? Well, if you didn't,
come on.
now you do.
Come on.
No,
Who is he? Where is he?
He is What a Day, Joe Lowry. What's up, Joe?
What a day, everybody. And just in case you haven't heard, I did go to high school with Missy Beefcake. So there you go. Looking to dethrone the champion tonight on the 30.
Well, speaking of him, we have the one and only, the 30 world champion, Mr. Benny Scala. Benny, what's going on?
I'm doing good, Bruce. How are you doing?
Well, hey, Benny, I'm glad you asked.
It doesn't matter how you're doing.
Promotional consideration paid for by the
Thursday night,
following.
Pros from the playa, and here we go. The playa is the 30s champ. Gomer Pyle fucked up at Marine Boot Camp. Sergeant Carter isn't here tonight. Just the playa. Your Thursday night delight. The playa is the man with the plan. I'd rather be anybody in this world besides Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Right on. Yeah.
Nice. Benny, as always, you know, we at the 30 always appreciate your pros, and for that, I'm going to award you 5 bonus points.
All right.
What? He didn't go to school with Missy Beefcake. I did.
Hey, well, hang on. Not so fast. Because
the red X. Yeah.
That's so fast.
For the blatant disrespect of the referee beforehand, you're penalized 7 points. So you're starting off at -2.
Wow.
Gee,
Really?
Fair. Completely fair.
Oh my God.
Oh, crap.
Look at that. Dangerous Danny Davis with the ring
Wow.
attire on, the referee shirt on. Holy cow.
That one like Bruce again.
And I might have to get that Vaseline back out.
Oh my God.
Just remember, guys, Bruce didn't screw Benny. Benny screwed Benny.
Oh, there you go. Black eyes for everybody.
Wow. Man, that's harsh. That's stiff. That's what she said.
Oh.
No, so listen, guys, it's been another crazy week in pro wrestling. So you ready to get this started?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, all right, listen, you guys already know the rules. Lying, cheating, foreign objects, and other distractions are allowed. Benny's the king of them. Points are given for amusing comments, trash talking, and bribery via PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. Credit cards are accepted, but please include a 10% surcharge. So let's get on to this first question here.
10% surcharge. What the hell?
Yeah.
If we can't get along, let's get it on.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go. So this past weekend, WWE presented the Royal Rumble, one of the premier live events. What did you think of this year's presentation? The surprises? What would you have done differently? And did you miss Brock Lesnar while he was off masturbating to pictures of women peeing? So, let's see who is on the 31st. Dan.
Uh-oh.
Dan,
Do we have
looks
to
like...
rhyme our responses tonight? Is that what we have to do? We have to rhyme our responses? Is that what's going on here? This is crazy.
Dan,
That's right in my
guess what?
wheelhouse.
You are on to 30. Go.
Well, surprises, there really weren't any in the men's rumble. As far as the women, I was pleasantly surprised. Obviously, the return of Naomi was a big story, and I was just telling, because I had friends over, I was just commenting. I was like, I can't believe Michael Cole referred to Naomi as the TNA Women's Champion, and then out comes the TNA Women's Champion, Jordan Grace, somebody else who had apparently it was spoiled on social media. Thankfully, I missed it, but multiple TNA Women's Champions, both of whom had strong showings. They booked it. It's nice to see, and I give Triple H extra credit after the event for referring to the words Forbidden Door as being dumb. I think that's very true. I thought the Women's Rumble was good. The debut of Jade Cargill. Bayley, I predicted that on the last show. The right winner, great showing. Jade looked like $1 million. There were a couple of spots, just like any multi-person match, where you got to take one chop or one body slam and then go sit in the corner for a half hour. Men's Rumble, Cody winning, Cody and Punk, the right final two, great spot. My only criticism for the night, the Fatal 4-Way Championship match felt flat to me. If you've seen one Roman Reigns match, you've seen them all in the last year and a half. A bunch of kickouts, 10, maybe 10 total moves, and then someone interferes. It's gotten boring. It's not even a territory champ weaseling his way out of the title. It's the same last 2 minutes of every match for a year and a half now. Thankfully, in Roman's case, that only means I missed 4 of them. But no, I thought the Rumble was a great show, and a 1-hour pay-per-view with 4 matches is the way to do it.
Nice job.
Right out of the gate.
Ooh,
out of the gate.
Nice job. Nice.
A 14-point lead over Benny for those who can.
Oh my God! And the play is really down 2 already.
Oh, yeah, man. How do I get back from that?
Mr. President, it's your turn on the 30. Are you ready?
I'm ready, baby.
Let's go.
You know, one of my grievances with the Rumble, and I think with some of these new premium live events, besides calling them premium live events, is the fact that they're a little too long these days, okay? 4 hours, and plus if you throw in that pre-show 5 hours, that's a long time to sit and watch anything, And also the commercials, back in the day, the pay-per-views weren't burdened with all these commercials. You can sit, they're good for a bathroom break or a snack break, but other than that, a little too long. So I think they run a little too long in general, the show. I too predicted Bayley, as many have thought that she was definitely a lock for the women's Royal Rumble. I like the Roman Reigns match. I actually had a little bit of concern and fear that he might actually lose it for some reason. So I'm definitely a fan of that. All in all, I had originally rated it a C, or actually I think I brought it down to a B- or a B, and I think that was fatigue talking before. But I think it was a solid effort. It might even border on a B+. Would have liked to have seen maybe a little more in the surprise element. The Rock would have really bolstered things, particularly at the end. It was almost kind of subtly promised that he'd be there. There were hints, and I think that would have capped it all off. But another person I would love to see is Camille join the ladies' ranks, and I was hoping that she'd actually come in at the end and maybe have a 3-way face-off with.
Well, that is time. Wow! Nice job.
Thank you.
The proverbial number 11.
Ding ding.
So let's
ding ding ding.
So Joe, it looks like it's your turn.
Gone.
Of course. Cool.
You ready?
Why would I?
Go.
Ready. All right, folks, we covered this pretty much on the Royal Rumble post show, but the Royal Rumble this year reminded me of like an NFL football game. They do the kickoff and they run back, and the opposing team scores 7 points and all this stuff. And that's what the WWE did this weekend. Call it the Royal Rumble. It's more like the Royal Fumble. I mean, I don't know. Outside of the women's event, this thing lacked the excitement that it was supposed to conjure up. I mean, but then again, what was the best thing that they probably could have done? Probably postpone this event because of the black cloud that was hanging over the Tropicana field after this bombshell lawsuit that came out just days prior. I mean, that's great. Naomi come back. There were no surprises. Roman Reigns won. Oh, boy. I mean, did we really think that Cody Rhodes was not going to win the Royal Rumble? Now they're saying that this was set all along, that Cody Rhodes is going to take on Seth Rollins. So there really was no surprises. We spent the whole night, minus after the women's Rumble, we spent the whole night waiting for that pop, waiting for the next big thing to happen, and it didn't occur. The only thing I think that broke out there was Kevin Owens' foot, because now we're hearing word that he wrestled Logan Paul with a fractured foot. So I don't know how true that is. Whatever it is, it just was lackluster this year. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The crowd, chanting that every, 3 minutes?
90 seconds.
90 seconds, all that stuff, 90 seconds. But I think ESO, you even said it yourself, the timings were all off. 1 minute, there were 2.5 minutes. Some of them were just a minute. Everything was off this year. I don't know what it was. Granted, Jordan Grace, TNA superstar, I had a chance to interview her a few years ago. It was great to find out that she was coming on there. I kind of did that spoiler as well, but Royal Fumble.
Nice job, Joe. Very nice job.
No, 2 touchdowns.
And thanks for that Venmo. I appreciate it.
No problem. A 10% surcharge killing me.
All right, so we only have one man left. We only have one man left for this one, and that is the champion himself, Benny Scala. So, Benny, you're on the 30.
All right. 2 points in. Oh, I gotta really bring this one home. So, what my take on this was they played it way too safe. It was nice to see Naomi, and she lasted for 61 minutes, but 59 minutes of it was spent sleeping in the corner. So Jordan Grace was a nice surprise, but it was okay. The problem with these matches is that only so many people can get their shit in at the same time, and you got everybody else kind of just taking a quick snooze in the corner. Like Dan said, the 4-way was it was ho hum. There was really, no surprise whatsoever. The Logan Paul Owens match was, to use Jimmy Farrow's words, serviceable. I did like the DQ ending, which you don't really see much anymore, but that was kind of refreshing. So I did like that. The men's, no. I gave it a C+, and I said on the post show that at number 30, if it was The Rock, I would have given the show an A++++. But Sami Zayn brought it right back down to a C+. That was it was just too safe. There were no major surprises, and it was kind of to me, it was a disappointment. It was okay, it was watchable, but it didn't really do anything for me. It didn't move the needle.
Nice job, player. Nice job, but you didn't quite dig yourself all the way out of that hole. But you got there. I have to agree with you on that, Sami Zayn. That was probably the biggest disappointment of the night. Is Sami coming out at number 30? It was like,
especially with him getting his head caved in the following night on Raw, so there was really no payoff to his return.
Unbelievable. I wonder if WrestleMania is going to be serviceable this year.
Although I will say, I think the shining star of the night was definitely Braun Breaker. The future is bright for the WWE.
Yeah, that was Brock Lesnar's replacement. We found out too.
Apparently,
yeah.
And he did it without any human trafficking or shitting on people. So.
Yeah. This is it's gonna be a brutal year for the WWE getting themselves out of that one. So, all right, let's get on to the next question. So Monday, Seth Rollins came out and made a plea to Cody Rhodes to challenge him at WrestleMania, as opposed to challenging part-timer Reigns for what he insinuated was the more important title. He stated that it was defended week after week, in contrast to, we know Roman's defense history. Did Seth Rollins convince you that his world title is on par with Roman's, or where do you think Rollins' title ranks in the WWE? And do you think Cody will complete his story at this year's WrestleMania? Mr. President, you're on the 30. Bill?
Go. That was a good encapsulation of what happened, Bruce. I'm thankful that you did it, as I didn't hear it directly, or I wasn't watching it. We were during a little Whitey Bulger discussion at the time, but from what I can surmise from the situation, first of all, Seth Rollins' voice drives me absolutely crazy. Okay,
Amen.
Worst voice ever.
Bonus points for that.
His fashion choices are, again, hey, that's not my cup of tea. I wear black shorts and a T-shirt and a hat, a baseball cap all the time. So I guess who am I to judge? But awful in the wardrobe too. Okay. In-ring ability, A++. Okay. Dislikability, very high. So if he's looking to irk anyone, he's doing a great job. Okay. Is his title more important? Has he defended it a little bit more? Yeah, likely so. But again, just putting Seth and Roman side by side, again, if you were an alien landing on the planet, and I've said this to Bruno and other people too, and you looked at the two of them, you were to decide, who is the dominant alpha male, who's the champ, who's a combatant, who's a competitor, who's a warrior. Every alien would pick Roman. Okay, so Roman's got that too. Granted, he defends his title 3 or 4 times a year. So be it, again. But in terms of talent, in terms of being a true heavyweight, in terms of being very good for the limited times we see him, he's the man, okay? He's on a whole nother level. I know a lot of haters. A lot of people can complain about him. but he's on a whole different level.
He's the president. We'll just let him keep talking.
Yeah, I was going to say, just got some overtime in there. Those Venmos really must be clearing.
I didn't give him any. No. He didn't get bonus points, but I have to respect he is the president of Thursday nights, so I had to let him keep talking.
Thank you.
Bonus points. Looks like I had a pick 6 and he went for 2 points afterwards. My God. Wow.
2-point conversion, Daddy.
That's it.
Nice job. Nice
all
job.
about ball control.
Nicely done.
Let's get a
By the
timer.
way, shout out to everybody in the chat tonight. They're pretty lively in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
Good looking group.
We spiked the water.
So, Joe, you are on the 30. Go.
All right. Well, all right. Enough. In context, of course, Seth has outpaced Roman Reigns in the title defense department and all this stuff. But let's just talk about this Cody in this never-ending story. I mean, reports are now surfacing that the WWE had planned on Cody versus Seth for WrestleMania long before the Rumble. Now, that something tells me that the WWE was in full damage control mode when this was all set to take place, with no doubt a disappointing Rumble, insert the ladies' exception here, combined with a bombshell lawsuit. Things may have accelerated this process. Obviously, Night 1 Mania will not be Seth versus Cody. Night 2 will be The Rock versus Reigns. Exactly how we get there remains to be seen, as there is only one premium live event scheduled, and that is to take place outside of the U.S. Go figure that one, right? The road to the showcase of the Immortals, however, can be a tricky one. Right now, it appears to be paved with controversy and ultimately bad timing, with everyone but Taylor Swift weighing in on if Cody finishes the story or doesn't finish the story. That all remains to be seen. But for now, we're going to be saddled with storylines via Raw and SmackDown, and hopefully 1 or 2 Rock appearances before WrestleMania. But with all the chaos and the disorder happening outside the ring, one thing that does concern me, folks, by the time WrestleMania does arrive, will we still know what Cody Rhodes' story is? I don't get it. I mean, at this point, it's damage control all around.
Let's see, Joe. Nice job. Nice job. He ends up at 26. He puts you in the lead. You know, you got some tough competition coming up next.
As always.
Because the current champ looks like he's up next. Benny, are you ready?
Ready.
You are on the 30.
You know, the great George Carlin once said, he used the term undisputed champion. He said, well, if it's undisputed, what's all the fighting about? So if Roman Reigns is the undisputed champion, what's all the fighting about? I don't get it. I mean, I am not a fan of having 2 championships, but if we are stuck with 2 championships, Dan and I talked about this on Tuesday night about Cody of Seth's promo, and I gotta say though, it was a hell of a sales job. You know, I don't know how many of you guys have been to a sales training class, and what you have to do is sell somebody your pen. And I mean, with all my being, I feel like Seth sold the pen. I mean, he did a really, really good job. Now, was this the plan all along? I don't know. Joe said that both Cody and Seth were going to win the Rumble, and at first I didn't agree with that, but now that I think about it, that I'm wondering if that was what was supposed to happen, and because Punk got hurt, that they called an audible and they had Cody win, because it would have made sense if Punk won. Punk faces Cody, Seth, and Cody faces Roman and finishes his story. But they had to revise it. They had to call an audible.
That is time. Nice job, Benny. A little bit of a comeback. Still behind, but definitely moved up a little there.
Making progress.
Where is the banker? I don't see.
He's down in Ronkonkoma.
He's counting all that money you've been slipping Bruce. That's what he's doing.
Those greenbacks, baby.
So, well, Dan, it's your turn. You're on the 30. Go.
Well, First, I want to agree with Bruce. Seth's voice is terrible, but I can't criticize Seth's wardrobe. I do a show with Benny every week, so I'm used to staring at hideous clothing. I've got no. In all seriousness, I what Benny said. We talked about it. I think that promo was the promo of Seth's life. It made me want to see that match more than him and Roman, but. Let's be honest, that title existed, a few months ago? Yes, Seth has defended it more than Roman has, but every one of Roman's title defenses have meant something. LA Knight, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn with Bloodline collapse, every one has meant something. Can you, off the top of your head, name Seth's last 5 opponents? He has not had a meaningful feud since the first one, and then when he started cutting his promo with Punk, and we thought maybe he'd have a second one. Okay, he beat Drew McIntyre a few times. Congratulations. The entire point was that Drew McIntyre was being a bad wrestler because he was too good of a person. Yay, you beat somebody in transition, and I think you beat Shinsuke Nakamura before he went crazy. Other than that, I don't know. I don't care. Seth's, okay, I defend the title a bunch of times. But if you defend a title and no one cares, is it really a big title? No. The main title is the one Roman has. That's the one that existed when his dad was there. He said, I want to win the title my dad never could, which means I want to win the title that Hulk Hogan had. I want to win the title that Randy Savage had, not the title that they gave Seth Rollins in a tournament because we've decided that the WWE Undisputed Universal, which is, by the way, a really stupid fucking name, the title. No, Cody and Roman has got to be the main event.
Nice job, Dad. See how he ended up. Oh, he's back up into second place. Nice. It's going to be a battle tonight. I have a feeling.
Ooh, wow.
A battle underway. My goodness. Look at those scores, huh? Look at those scores.
Battle of the Network Stars.
There you go.
Remember that?
Three's Company will take on Welcome Back Cotter.
So, okay, well, let's get on to the
off against Fantasy Island.
Let's get on to the next one here. With all the scandalous news and injuries, the WrestleMania card is in shambles. Brock's out, Punk's out, Seth's limited. Who right now will be challenging who for which titles at this year's WrestleMania? Let's see. It looks like, Joe, you're on the 30.
Really?
Yeah, it looks that way. Are you ready? Too bad. Go.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's get the easy one out of the way. Logan Paul will defend his U.S. title against Kevin Owens, and I would say that the undercard's going to have to carry this one. So what the hell? Put them in the cell. You know, that's one good match right there. I hope to God that the women's tag team championship. I hope they do like a tag team battle royal for the belts, because that seems to be the one way to get all the women on the card all at once. Maybe do like a 2-night tournament with similar to what they've been doing with the Dusty Cup on NXT. That'd be something to look forward to. I still say Mercedes Moné, a.k.a. Sasha Banks, reunites with Naomi, and she comes back for that. I'm still going with Seth Rollins taking on Cody Rhodes, and, of course, The Rock versus Roman Reigns. And, of course, the lightning rod and all this is going to be, as always, Solo Sikoa. What's going to happen with Solo Sikoa? I don't know, but he's going to be the wild card and all this. And also, let's not forget, now that Brock Lesnar's out of the picture and all that stuff, he was supposed to take on Gunther. Gunther's going to need a new opponent now. Hopefully, if we sign Drew McIntyre, I'd like to see him and Drew McIntyre go at it. I think they put on a gem of a match. They're both suitable. They both got good size. If they start a storyline relatively soon, that could be neat as well. Expect some NXT holdovers to get over there. I'm sure Tiffany Stratton will be on the radar as well. There'll be an NXT championship match, I'm sure, with Taya Valkyrie and all that stuff. So, it's a who's who right now. But right now, it's damage control for the WWE.
Nice job, Joe. Time is up. Let's see how you did. Oh, nice. Up to 37. Oh, that's definitely a good number. Moving up in the game. Let's see. It looks like the champ is next on the 30. So let's bring him up there. Champ, you're on the 30.
So I'm going to go with Seth's pen promo and say that Cody and Seth will wrestle for the World Heavyweight Championship. I do not believe we have seen the last of LA Knight. I think LA Knight is going to win at the Elimination Chamber in Perth, and I think LA Knight is going to challenge Roman Reigns, because if he doesn't, what do they do with him? I mean, that whole push, it's going to be, it's going to be for nothing. So I think that's going to be, LA Knight, Roman Reigns, and Seth and Cody for the main championships. I do think, like Joe said, Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, they have to have that rematch. I think that's why they had the DQ ending. I do think that Bayley chooses Io Sky and turns babyface, and then she obviously will probably get attacked by Damage Control. And I do think, based on her showing at the Royal Rumble, I see Jade Cargill challenging Rhea Ripley. It makes sense because she's got the size. I mean, Nia Jax, I just can't buy into this lady. This is somebody who got pinned by Alexa Bliss. And, we have a little bit of a memory, and I just can't get that one out of my mind. So the only one that I am stumped for at the moment would be Gunther, maybe Imperium. Maybe Gunther turns babyface and faces one of the members of Imperium.
Nice job, Benny. Champ is making a move there. Check that out.
All right. All right.
What in God's name is going on here? Oh, my goodness.
Checks are cashing early.
Oh, my God.
Cash App.
16 matches, 90 seconds, go.
All right. Well, Dan, looks like you're on the 30. You ready?
Brain is tired.
Yes, sir.
Go.
All right. Well, I disagree. I think the main event, I think Cody sticks with Roman, and if you're going to have The Rock get involved, The Rock will interfere on behalf of Cody to stop the bloodline from interfering, to set up Roman and The Rock later, perhaps SummerSlam. That match does not need to have the title involved. But as for Seth, I think you have Seth and Drew, and I put the title on Drew because what a heel move, beating down a champion, and then Drew can keep the title until a healthy CM Punk comes back. That feud writes itself. Mid-card, Benny said Jade and Rhea. I would have Jade and Bianca after the reaction they got at the Rumble, plus Bianca could carry her as green as she is. As far as Rhea, I think she puts the title on line against Becky. I agree. Bayley gets turned on, turns face, goes against Io. You got to have the Judgment Day and Awesome Truth the way they've been building that up. As far as Gunther, I would have him defend the title against Braun Breaker. He's your next big star. If anybody can take the title off Gunther and make Gunther not look weak doing it, it's going to be the next big thing in the company. Logan Paul, his story's not over. He defends the title against Owens. But that leaves so many new people. You got Imperium in the New Day. LA Knight, if I'm going to do anything with him, I'd have Orton turn on him and LA Knight versus Orton at Mania, because Orton can eat that loss and not suffer from it, and that'll give LA Knight the marquee win he needs over a huge name. You still got Shinsuke, AJ Styles, Jinder Mahal. There's so many possible big names. I would throw in a big multi-man match, something, Money in the Bank, whatever you want to do something with that talent. But that'd be my card right there.
Nice job. That's time, Dan, but great job. Great job. Looks like you took over the lead.
Whoa,
1 point.
Whoa. Come on.
This is definitely a tight one tonight.
That's the Jinder Mahal effect. That's what that is.
Booker of the year right there. See, you got to go hard. Monty's threatening my sideburns. I'm coming for you guys now.
Well, we only got one more left this round. Mr. DeCesare, you are on to 30.
All right. Well, for Gunther, and we'll start with Gunther because he is a fighting champion, and he is just a breath of fresh air in so many ways. And again, I was referring to another person as being all sizzle and no steak. This guy is steak, man, big time. I see he's going to defend his title against Jey Uso. I see Solo Sikoa interfering, causing an upset, and Jey Uso winning. I see that situation carry over to the main event of Roman versus Rock, and I can somehow see some interference, perhaps by Gunther. And I know this is way out there. And The Rock beating Roman Reigns, again, just as a temporary champion, I think, to set up a feud potentially between Gunther. And see, the dog agrees with me. I'm absolutely.
Benny with the distractions.
Sure. So
shoot the dog. Shoot the dog.
Don't shoot the messenger. So I see Roman and Gunther in that feud over the title, and I see The Rock perhaps just being stripped of the title because of the conflict of interest of being on the board. I see Seth against Cody, of course, but I would love to see Seth against Finn if anything happens, and a lot of things can still happen, but that's a rematch long in the making that I'd love to see. Of course, KO is going to go against Paul, and I think KO is going to go over Paul this time, too. I would love to see Rhea Ripley against Camille, and I'm going to hold a candle for Camille. I would love for her to come in. the dramatic victory. How's my time? I don't have a clock, Bruce.
Oh no, your time is up.
Damn
it. Damn.
So
Overall,
nice job.
Timekeeper.
Wow, look at that. Overall, everybody's answers were very, very serviceable. Very serviceable.
And one I completely forgot to mention, I would have the Usos go Jay versus Jimmy. That's a match they haven't done yet.
Yeah.
And that they have to get to that. They have to.
Save that for like after Mania. Save that for after
You got
Mania.
2 days worth of matches you got to do.
Actually, that'd be good on Raw the next night. That would be good.
All right. So listen, this is the last one before an elimination. So see, so player, you got a little bit of work to do. You've been creeping your way back into this, and you definitely can do this. If anyone can do this, you can do it. So during last night's edition of AEW Dynamite, it was announced that Tony Khan will make a big announcement next week. What do you think about this? What do you think it could be? And doesn't it seem like we get a lot of knee-jerk big announcements from this little company? So, player, you're on to 30. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
You know, Tony Khan has another big announcement. I have a job where my manager prefaces all of her messages as important. She did with the red asterisk on Teams. And I told her, I said, when everything is important, nothing is important. And I think the same thing goes with Tony Khan. You know, when all of Tony Khan's announcements are big, none of them are big. And, you know, maybe it's going to be that Vince McMahon shit on his head too. And he liked it. That could be the announcement. But, you know, so I hope it's not the debut of that purple-haired, eggnog-glugging, skinny skank Mercedes Moné. The most overrated, quote-unquote, wrestler of all time. Alternates between being hurt and hurting others. So while WWE is signing a $5 billion contract with Netflix, AEW is excited about signing someone who is more suited to standing under a street light on 42nd Street in Manhattan. And if you guys, I don't know if anybody's familiar with 42nd Street, but that's where all the hoes hang out. But I mean, sadly, I think that's what it's going to be. I think that's going to be his big announcement. I have never been a fan of Sasha Banks / Mercedes Moné.
So, nice job. You currently have the lead, but I don't know how long that one's gonna hold up. That's a tough number there. So we will see.
These gonna be like the highest scores we've had in a while. My God.
Hey, you guys are doing great tonight. Let's see who is up next. It looks like Dan. Dan, you are on to 30.
Yeah, let's do it.
And go.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I agree with Benny. I think the big announcement is going to be Mercedes Moné signing. With the rumblings now that Okada looks like he's WWE bound, especially after ProWrestlingTees.com announced they're pulling all his merchandise. There's really nothing else left. But given Tony Khan's track record, because remember his last couple big announcements, a tournament no one cared about, a title that no one cared about, a round robin type series of matches that crashed ratings. Then he had the huge announcement that we're going to start selling tickets for next year's Wembley in about 6 months, which that felt flat. Tony Khan makes big announcements to make big announcements. Every time he talks, it's a big announcement. Like Benny said, if everything's number one, nothing is. If you guys remember the old Nitro broadcasts, Tony Schiavone every day or every Monday, this is going to be the biggest Nitro ever. How is every Nitro the biggest Nitro ever? It's awful. The only thing worse than Tony Schiavone calling the biggest Nitro ever is that masked idiot that went on every Wednesday night saying anything. By the way, having a commentator with a face covered is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Excalibur sucks. I just wanted to put that out there. But So hopefully that's Tony Khan's big announcement, that he's actually going to get an announce crew that's not garbage. But no, it's going to be Mercedes Moné. It's going to fall flat. She's going to do nothing for the ratings. Collision went against against the Royal Rumble, did 300,000. It's a joke.
Dan, way to go. He takes over the lead.
What the hell? Jesus. These are huge scores. My God.
Hey, you know, everybody's checks cleared.
Damn.
Wow.
Everybody, you know. Let's see, who do we got next? It looks like Phil. Phil, you were on the 30.
Oh, boy. You know, this is going to be a hard one to answer because I have, like, no interest in the I just don't know. I watch the product. I enjoy AEW for, you know, because I'm a wrestling fan. And I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, you know, it's going to be in Boston. I hope it is. I'll make a trip if it is. At least the rumor mill says it's going to be in Boston. And just like all you guys said, it's going, you know, potentially it's going to be Mercedes Moné or whatever the hell her name is now. And all well and good, or that guy Okada from Japan, whatever. I don't even follow New Japan anymore. So maybe he's going to announce he's the Grand Wizard. Did you see him with that turban and the sunglasses he wore? Maybe he's going to resurrect the character. I hope he does, because that would really inject some good life into it. But, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. They're going to start touring flea markets. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I love AEW. I really do. But just, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just getting burned out on all this, you know? Don't know what to say, Bruce. Don't know what to say, you know? Don't know. For the first time, I'm going to stop before the clock. How's that? That tells you about the question. Okay?
Oh, my
You're
God.
forfeiting 15 seconds.
I'm going to take off my hat, put it in my mouth.
The
I'm gonna roll
announcement
under
is
the
so
ropes.
unimportant. It's not even worth 90
Count
seconds.
me out of the
time.
ring. Count my silence as a statement.
Cut my silences.
Awful.
Bill, I think that hurt you. I mean, you just need a little bit more. I think you would have, you ahead of Benny, but I don't know. Dan's got 5 points on you. That's going to be a tough one to get ahead of.
I'm just going to get my salad, man. That's all right.
Well, we've got last but not least. Joe, you're on the 30.
Well, 90 seconds to find out or figure out what Tony Khan's next big announcement is going to be. Of course, it's going to be Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné. It's in Boston. They might even combine it with Okada. But let's talk about the other elephants in the room for a second. What about the awesome performance by RVD last night? Perhaps he's going to be signed to AEW in a long-term extension deal. Or better yet, well, maybe not. Mustafa Ali, I was thinking maybe he would be coming along. That could be a big announcement. But let's talk about MJF for 1 second. Maybe that's the big announcement. Maybe this is the proverbial, we look this way, but this is what's going on over here. I think that's an option on the table. But what I saw last night, I saw a couple of photos from backstage with AEW Dynamite. And if it's Tony Khan in typical Tony Khan fashion, he's going to build up this big announcement. He's going to come out at 9:04 and 59 seconds next week because, or 10:04 on the East Coast, because they're going to book that 5-minute overrun again. And I think he's going to announce that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is now a member of AEW. She is going to be all elite. Seeing that just 2 weeks ago on Wrestling Remembered, Aunt Esther signed with AEW, right? Benny can attest to that. But
we broke that story.
So we broke that story. So nonetheless, we all know Raw. Excuse me, Freudian slip there. AEW is in Boston, so all points to Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné.
Great job.
But Okada might be the caveat and all that. So who knows?
Great job there.
Uh-oh.
I'll stay.
It looks like, hey, Benny, looks like we're going to have to say goodbye to you. And not only that, that means I got to take this title away first. Because one of these other three guys are going to be wearing it tonight.
The 2 points did him in. That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Phil, that saved you, Phil.
I should say, praise the Lord.
So,
7 points, actually.
Benny,
Lord.
we'll see you later.
It's been real, guys. Good luck.
Yeah.
Bye,
Merry
champ.
Christmas. Have a good New Year's.
Champ in our hearts, man.
Are we even? Is this going to be a
A triple
Carlos
threat.
Colon and Inoki thing. Benny's title run was so short, we're just not even going to recognize it. Like,
Mobile Brazil's NWA title reign too, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, it's a whole new ball game. One of you three is going to be walking away with that title. So let's see.
We're strutting away. Woo!
All right. One of the highlights of the Women's Rumble was the debut of TNA World Champion Jordynne Grace. She was allowed her entrance music and her title belt with her. The announcers put her over, and she had a great showing in the Rumble. How did you feel about her debut? And would you like to see more of this? And do you think we'll see more of this type of thing with this new WWE? So let's see. Dan, let's put you on to 30. Are you ready?
yes, sir. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Go.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised to see her, and she looked like $1 million. Anybody that remembers what she looked like pre-injury a few years ago before she started living in the gym, it's one of the biggest and best looking body transformations I think I would argue in wrestling history. This is, just absolutely her physique, her appearance. She was treated like a star. The only thing worth note is she had 0 eliminations. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but you can be in the Rumble for a while and still look great. She definitely didn't botch any moves or act tired. She looked better than some of the women they had in there. As for future workings with TNA, this is the second time in 3 years they've had the current TNA Women's Champion in the Rumble. Remember, they did it with Mickie James, and now Mickie James' husband is the SmackDown general manager, so I wouldn't be surprised to see her come back. Yeah, I think this is great for them, and it only helps all around. WWE gets to expand their mantra a little bit. The UFC, they love their random side pairings, and now that Endeavor's in charge and TKO, of course they have more interest in working with TNA, and TNA's not going anywhere. They're the little engine that could, despite having no ratings and no money and no stars for 25 years outside of the mainstream. They still stayed around, so they deserve it. They deserve the pat on the back. And it's an extra FU to AEW because, hey, look, AEW is now the third promotion because TNA is being treated like it means more.
Nice job. Nice job, Dan. Commanding lead there. It's going to be a tough number to hit there. But if anybody can, Mr. President, you're the one who I think can do it. Actually, either of these guys that are left would be able to do this. Phil, let's get a timer up for you. And Phil, you are on to 30.
Yeah, I have to agree. Well, first of all, it was a surprise to see Jordynne Grace, and talent is like cream. Just rises to the top, and obviously she's very talented, and obviously they, Triple H and the rest of the group think the world of her work and her ability. And I do agree with Dan. Yeah, and I know a little bit about transformations and people transforming their health, their physique, and everything else, and she just looked remarkable. I popped too when they referred to her as TNA Knockouts champ. It was unbelievable to hear those words. Something that we really haven't heard in a while. And I'm from the old school. I mean, you would not refer to another on any WWF telecast, any other organization ever. It was like they didn't exist. So this is kind of new territory. I think it does a lot, and it's almost reminiscent of ECW coming in, working with WWF. A little bit of acknowledgement there, and I can see some of the stars transitioning into WWE right now. Yeah, I don't recall that she eliminated. I forget too whether she actually eliminated anyone from the match itself, but she did make a good accounting for herself. I think again, the injury bug has been biting so many times, so many people, divas and the men also. So I think they have to start importing talent because the rash of injuries has been crazy as of late. So all door, not the forbidden door, but all other doors should be open just in case for talent to come in. So I think she did great. I think we're going to see more of that. I think the division could
nice job,
hold and
Phil.
host more.
Let's see. All right, so it's going to be it's a big number there, 59. Joe, what do you think about that?
I don't think. I just do.
That's right.
You just do? Gotcha. So you're on the 30. Everybody, just do it there.
The White Zombie song.
There you go. Oh, I'm up. Okay, I'm up. I didn't even know that. Okay, so the WWE was cloud. Going into the Royal Rumble, there was a dark cloud over this whole thing. And the one of the few good feel-good moments of the Women's Rumble, no doubt, TNA champion, knockout champion Jordynne Grace
surprised everybody by coming in. Should they do this more often? Of course they should. Don't stop at TNA. Let's go over to UFC. Let's go to AEW. If this is going to be a one-off deal, it helps everybody. It helps the sport overall. Why not do that? You should do that. The fact that Jordan did not throw anybody over the top rope is shocking to me. She was in the ring for 20 minutes. That says a lot compared to Chelsea Green and the rest of them. But I'm just saying, these are feel-good moments here. And the fact that her and Naomi had that feel-good moment where they hugged and then they meet and beat each other is what they called it. They referred to it as that was priceless. What, less than 48 hours removed after reclaiming or actually doing the proverbial rematch after winning the Knockouts champion over Naomi. They had their rematch, and there they are 48 hours later in a WWE ring. That is excellent. I love stuff like that. I'd rather talk about things like that. So, yes, it should not stop with TNA. It should transcend over to UFC. Why it can't? I don't know why. They all own each other now. They're all part of the same umbrella. But why not extend it to AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, things like that, and also do it on the men's side? They should actually have that all year, every year.
Nice job. And it looks like, unfortunately, Mr. President, we have to say goodbye to you.
El Presidente.
Is it salad time, man?
It's salad time.
Salad time.
Salad time.
Hey, you can still comment. We just won't be able to see you anymore. Mr. President, we'll talk to you later.
Boston salad.
See you guys.
Salad.
As Bart Simpson would say, you can't win friends with salad. We'll see you guys later.
Salad. You can't win friends with
Uh-oh.
salad.
All right, so guys got to give me a second as I reset your scores.
Tossed salad and scrambled egg. Why? Keep them up. I like those scores.
Oh, what do you want to go down 3? You'd be down 3 to start.
I'm fine going into the final round with a 3-point lead.
Joe's confident there.
There you go.
So let's see. The final question. We touched on it briefly last week as it broke, but the scandal with Vince McMahon is all over the media. WWE, TKO completely distanced themselves from him, and virtually every wrestling podcaster is condemning Vince, saying that he should be sent to jail, even if this is only a civil lawsuit. Where does this rank in all-time wrestling scandals, and is there a way for Vince McMahon to come back from this? So, Dan, you're first on the 30. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Go.
You know, wrestling has always been a what have you done for me lately business, and the WWE has long since targeted the youth. A majority of their audience is between the ages of 18 to 49, what they call the key demo. So to them, this is the biggest scandal in wrestling history. They don't remember the steroid scandal. They don't remember the Ring Boys. They don't remember the plane ride from hell or any of the stuff. If it wasn't for Dark Side of the Ring, they probably wouldn't know half of that. This is the biggest thing they have ever dealt with. And much like what Vince has said for many years, money talks. TKO released a very timid yet still confrontive statement, and the second Slim Jim said, we're pulling our sponsorship until something's done about this, Vince was gone within the hour. So, because Slim Jim wouldn't have been the only one. That money would have started drying up, gone. And soon as that happened, Vince had to go. Now, I said it on our show. You talk about podcasters on the show with Benny and I. I said if even 1%, because I read all 67 pages and I felt sick to my stomach, if even 1% of what's in that paper is true, Vince does need to go to jail. TKO needs to distance themselves. They need to fire everyone in that building, starting with Bruce Pritchard. They need to get rid of everybody who is a Vince lackey, a Vince clone, or a Vince pawn. I hate to say it. I give him a lot of credit. They need to good look at keeping Triple H around. He's got too much of a connection. Hopefully they're distant, because apparently the story is that he had nothing to do with it, which is great. But no, TKO's got to step in. They got to fire Vince. They got to purge the story, and they have to make as much distance between themselves as possible.
Nice job, Dan. Yeah, great number to start. That's usually the standard on that final round. I know Joe doesn't like that number though.
Not for me, it ain't.
So, all right, let's see. So, Joe, it's your turn.
Yeah.
12 points. Can you beat it? Go.
I don't know. We'll try. Well, not for nothing, Dan touched upon probably about every aspect of this lawsuit and so forth. But let's just get to the meat and gist of it all right now. Vince McMahon will never come back to the WWE in any capacity whatsoever. There is no margin for error on this one.
What I can tell you is he will go down just like Chris Benoit and Jimmy Superfly Snuka did, and they will be scrubbed from all of WWE history, except for maybe a couple of asterisks here and there when he was a champion or something like that. But Vince McMahon is no longer with the WWE. TKO made sure of it. Vince McMahon made sure of it. And let's not forget, folks, this lawsuit is based on a breach of the non-disclosure agreement. There's no monetary involvement here. The problem with this is, though, is if they do find some criminal misconduct within either settling this lawsuit or if they go to trial, which they will not go to trial because 90% of these cases are settled out of court. So like Dan said, if 1% of this is even remotely true, my goodness, I think I'm going to sue for a class action lawsuit because after reading these text messages from what's just been released in the last week, I am sick to my stomach. And by the way, as we were going to air, more people have flooded inboxes of the lawyers for Janelle Grant claiming they've been sexually harassed and all that stuff. So we're at the tip of the iceberg right now. You think the storm is calm now? It's not, folks. It's just getting ready. And by the way, Chris Van Vliet interviewed Tori Wilson. She had some pretty choice words from Vince McMahon in the WWE before we went on the air. So Vince McMahon gone from
Nice
WWE
job,
for good.
Joe.
Gone
Nice
forever,
job.
without question.
Let's see what happens as we transition in. Oh, we do have a new.
Oh, wow.
I passed the 12. I've got
What a
past
day.
12.
What a day! What do you know?
What do
Whoa!
you know? What do you know? What do you know?
Let's move this title over. Wow.
Title. Yeah. Yeah.
Dan, I'm sorry, but
Love it.
you know,
Love it.
he had that little bit of extra with him tonight. Might have been some extra cash, but
And new champion of the
Dan, we got to say goodbye. But actually, let's just bring everybody back in. Let's see.
A rare elimination for Dan.
Yeah.
elimination.
That never happens.
I would like to point out that my streak does continue, though. I have
Of
yet
course
to
it
not make it to the finals on this show. So
In
No
my
shame
in
per game.
Yeah.
my streak will continue as I'll probably only be a 7-day champion.
I got the Ricky Bobby
Tommy Rich.
mantra. If you're not first, you're last. If I'm not winning, I'm getting eliminated in the final.
Tommy
There you go.
Wildfire Rich, baby. Tommy Wildfire Rich.
This is what this was. What was his name? Oh man, now I'm drawing a blank. Old
Give us a hint.
the pat himself on the back jobber with the mullet.
Barry Horowitz.
Yeah, thank you.
Barry.
This is Barry Horowitz beating Skip right here.
We got to get
Hey,
Jumpin' Farmer on the show. We got to get
Guys,
Jumpin' on the show.
Remember one thing about that. A pat on the back is 18 inches away from a kick in the ass, okay?
Folks, real quick before we go, I just want to dedicate tonight's win to my high school confidant, Miss Missy Beefcake, everybody. I don't know if you
Come
know,
on.
but I went to high
Nice.
school with Missy
Come
Beefcake.
on.
I will dedicate this title win to her.
Come on.
No, I'm just kidding. I
Quincy.
dedicate the baby cakes.
So listen, make sure everybody tunes in at 9 p.m. where this week I believe we have Lee Cole. Lee Cole is the brother of Tom Cole, who was one of the ring boys back in the day. So
Related
I've
to
talked to
Michael
Lee a
Cole?
few times. Really nice dude.
Or Adam Cole.
So what do you have?
What's
What's Dan and Benny? What do you have coming up on Dan and Benny of the Ring?
Nat King Cole.
Charcoal.
Go for it, Ben.
We're not really sure because we had Frankie the Thumper Lancaster for next Tuesday, but he canceled on us. So we're trying to come up with a blockbuster show to reflect the current state of affairs in professional wrestling. So stay tuned.
I wonder if Tony Ellis would be good.
Tony Atlas.
So what about you, Joe? What do you got? What do you have going on this
I
week?
followed Tony Atlas on social media. He gets spit and stepped on purpose. I don't know if that would work.
I know, right? He'd offer another perspective for sure.
So, well, listen, guys. I guess we gotta wrap this up. We had a great chat room going today, really
Very good
lively.
show.
So,
Good show, guys. Good show.
On behalf of the rest of the 30 crew, thank you guys, and from everybody in the Farrell family, we will see you guys next week. Later.
Love, peace, and chicken
Thanks
grease.
for tuning in, chat
Look at
room.
the
Thanks
guns.
for tuning in.
Your
Good night,
senor
everybody.
guns.
It's the Gun Show. What a day. What a day.